Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. My name is Elizabeth and I run the blog lifefromtheviola.com where I share my favorite practice tips, general advice, and tech for musicians. Today I'm sharing with you 6 ways that you can get ready for your college or grad school applications and auditions over the summer without losing all of your free time. If you find these tips helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel. I post new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Time, and I also have a free guide called Roadmap to Music School, which you can download right down in the description box below, where I share the big steps you're going to have to take to get from high school musician to music major, and some of my advice for along the way. So when you're in high school and you want to go to music school, or if you're a college musician and you want to go on to grad school, summer is a great time to start looking into schools and getting ready for your applications and auditions. You likely don't have the stress of classes looming over your head, so you have more kind of mental room to focus on looking at schools and thinking about what you want and just kind of getting things in order. So my first tip to get ready for college applications over the summer is to research schools. Go over to Google and search either the program that you're interested in or a location that you might want to move to, or any other kind of specific topic related to what you're interested in, like if you want like a big school that's known for music or a small private school with a great music program. You can search all of those different kinds of things and find lots of different schools that you might never have heard of otherwise. This is a great kind of easy step to take over the summer, especially if you kind of make it into a routine, like taking 15 to 30 minutes every day or 3 times a week to just go onto Google and look at different schools, take note of how many students go to the school or what kind of program they have. If you like the school, if you really don't like it, just taking note of those things is going to help you down the line. I talk a lot about researching schools in my Roadmap to Music School video, which you can find in the eye above and also in my free guide. The second thing you can do to prepare for college applications over the summer is to tour schools. Summer is a great time to tour schools because you likely have more time to travel without, the stress of being in school. The downside to touring schools over the summer is that you're not really going to get the full picture of what campus is really like during the semester, when all of the students are on campus and the teachers are all there and the cafeteria is busy and seeing what parking is like. You can get a bigger picture if you tour the school over the semester, but summer is a good time to explore a bunch of different schools, see if you like it at all, and then if you do really like it, you can always tour it again when school is in session. So that you get that full picture and see, okay, I like it when students are on campus or the teachers seem friendly. You can maybe sit in on classes too, but summer is a great time to do like an initial tour of a school just to see if you like it, if you like the area, just kind of get a general idea. A lot of schools created virtual tours during the pandemic, and they likely still have them up on their website, so you can always look at the virtual tour if you're not able to travel. But there is nothing quite like seeing a place in person and really experiencing it. So if you're able to tour a school in person, I feel like that's the best option because then you can get a real feeling of what you feel like when you're on campus. The third way you can prepare for college auditions over the summer is to really think about what you want. Just think long and hard. Have like a heart-to-heart with yourself. Think, do you want to go to a big school or a small school? A school that's really known for music or a school that's maybe more low-key and kind of underrated? Do you want there to be a jazz program, a musical theater program, an opera program? What exactly are you looking for? What would your dream school have and what would your dream school not have? Looking for those different small characteristics can really help you find a school that will really match great with you. By researching schools and touring schools, you're getting more information that you can analyze and say, okay, I want that and I don't want that. And you can kind of pick and choose these things when looking at other schools. So kind of going through a few schools first, seeing what you like and don't like, then finding more schools, seeing what you like and don't like. Keep going in that kind of pattern, and that can help you really narrow down to find a school that might feel perfect for you. The fourth thing you can do to prepare for your college applications is to keep practicing. So I know summer is a fun time to relax and take a break, but it's also a great time to keep practicing and keep getting better at your instrument and to really start preparing for your auditions, especially if they're coming up this winter. So if you're in high school and you're going off to music school, you're probably taking lessons over the summer with your private teacher if you have one. But if you're in college and you're looking to apply to grad school, you might not have a teacher over the summer because, your teacher is through the school. So finding ways that you can continue learning over the summer, even without a teacher, can be really, really great to help give you more experience and just help you feel more confident in the audition too, and help you progress on your instrument so that you are the best you can be by the audition day. Also, practicing is likely already part of your routine if you want to be a professional musician, so just keep up that routine and you should be good to go. If you need some help getting motivated, I do have a video and blog post on that. You can find that in the eye above. My fifth tip is to take note of important dates and deadlines. So when I applied for grad school, I made a big spreadsheet of every school I was really interested in, when the applications were due, when the audition dates were, what the application requirements were, what the audition requirements were, who the teacher was, all of these different factors like tuition and so many different things, just so that I could have it right there in front of me, kind of like if you're shopping for a computer and you can see the specs of different models right there in a nice little graph. I had that same thing for different schools. So I highly recommend making a spreadsheet if you're able to do so. I just used Google Sheets. It's free. It's pretty easy to use. And take note of those important dates and deadlines so that you have an idea of kind of how on track you are to complete all of your applications and when you might be able to schedule your auditions. It's really great to have that information in front of you. Even if you end up not being interested in one or two of the schools on the spreadsheet, that's okay. At least you have that information and you would have been ready if you had chosen to apply and audition to those schools. Here are a few dates that you should specifically look out for, especially if you are in high school and you want to go to college. The first is application deadlines, especially for prospective music students, because sometimes these are a little different from the regular application deadline. Another are audition dates. So each school has different audition dates and different ways of scheduling auditions. So just listing how they schedule auditions and what those dates might be is just good information to keep on hand. The third date to take note of is scholarship deadlines. So if they have any scholarships that you can apply for by essay or by a separate audition tape or any kind of thing like that, definitely make note of those if you are interested in applying for those, because those can really, really help you out. And the fourth date to take note of is the FAFSA application date. So I think they open up in the fall of each year, and the sooner you fill that in and send it off to schools, the sooner you can find out your financial aid information and kind of the higher amount of money they can offer you, while it's still all there. And then if you wait a while, some of the money is gone. So it's better to get that done early rather than later. So that is a really good date to have on hand. My final tip for preparing for college applications and auditions over the summer is to practice in front of your friends and family. Have some mock auditions. So auditions can be really, really scary because, playing in front of others and being judged is just not a super comfortable thing to do. So playing for as many people as you can, especially people you don't play for often, can really, really help you feel confident in your audition because you've played for other people and you've gotten feedback already. So this is just another one of those times, and it's not as big and scary and unusual. So people you might want to play for are your family, your friends, especially if you have other friends who are trying to go into a similar thing as you, whether that's music school or grad school. If you kind of create a group and you have mock auditions for each other, that is a really, really great way to prepare for your auditions. Another person to play for is your private teacher. You probably play for your private teacher weekly, but having specifically a mock audition with them where they sit at a table and they write things down as you're playing, that can really get you nervous. So that's another good way to prepare for your actual audition. More people you can play for are different music teachers at your school if you don't play for all of them regularly. So I played for my band director one time in my senior year, and he gave me tips that my private teacher hadn't told me, just different things. It's great to hear different perspectives from different people, because then you can think of things that you never would have thought of before, and it can kind of open your eyes to how other people hear and receive your music. So on audition day, you will likely be in kind of an unfamiliar space around people that you don't know who are also nervous, playing for people that you might have never met before. So if you can recreate as many of those aspects of audition day as you can at your mock auditions, that can really help set you up for success on your actual audition day because you've done similar things before. If you find a way to get yourself nervous, which isn't very fun, but a lot of people will just run a few laps before they start playing because it gets your heart rate up, your hands can get a little shaky, and you're a little sweaty, and it makes you feel really similar to how you might react in an audition setting. Not everyone reacts the same way, but being sweaty, your heart rate being higher, and shaky hands, those are all really common responses to audition days. So doing something like that, or playing in a space that you're not familiar with, especially if you're not used to the sound of the room, that can be really helpful, because my audition at the school that I ended up going to was actually in the recording studio, so the acoustics were like really weird, and I had to adjust to that really fast in my audition. And that's something that I hadn't really practiced before, because I always practiced at home or in the practice room at high school, just like in the same places every time. And I didn't have much experience playing inside a recording studio where the sound is very dead and just like immediate, right in your face, and not like resonant. So that was something that I really had to adjust to, that I had never practiced before. So those are 6 ways that you can prepare for your college applications and auditions over the summer without losing all of your free time. Summer is a really great time to start thinking about these things while you don't have the stress of school looming over your head, and you likely have more free time and might be able to travel to some schools. If you found these tips helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel. I post new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Time, and I also have a free PDF guide called Roadmap to Music School, where I go over the big steps you're going to take to go from high school musician to music major, and I give you lots of tips and tricks in there. So you can sign up to download that in the description box. I'd love for you to have that information. It's super helpful. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.